We need to talk about Black Myth Wukong and its astronomical, industry-changing success. This isn't just a great game. It will change how people talk about China in the video game market. It will change what people expect from the Western video game market and Japanese video game market. And I hope it will end up making all the games we play better. Seemingly made with the premise of simply making an amazing game that honors Chinese mythology, Black Myth Wukong has bucked almost every trend we see from the wider video game market. There's no cosmetic store, there's no always online requirement, it launched on day one and worked. And while there are issues later in the game, Game Science has already come out and said they are working hard to address them. All of that said, I wanted to talk about why Black Myth Wukong is one of the most important games to hit the video game industry since Baldur's Gate 3. It is yet another wake-up call for an industry too focused on profit margins while turning a blind eye to what gamers are begging for. First, let's talk about where Black Myth Wukong started and where it landed today. What did it look like pre-launch? Was there an indication this would be a success? What happened at launch? How much of an impact did the Chinese market have? And what does it mean going forward for the entire industry? A lot of this references reports from Daniel Ahmad at Nico Partners, and I have linked sources in the description below. Let's take a look at how Black Myth Wukong entered the conversation and why it will be an industry-changing game for years to come. Let's go back 4 years to when the first Black Myth Wukong trailer was released. There were clear indicators that this game could be a hit. Just the trailer of gameplay on IGN has 10 million views. That same trailer on Bilibili, a video platform in China, has 55 million views, making it the most viewed video game trailer of all time on the platform. Everybody who played it was expressing how much they liked the game, myself included, and it was clear there was a large interest from the Western market. Lunkin Coffee in China did a pre-release collaboration, and it sold out due to such high demand for the product. 4 million gamers wishlisted Black Myth Wukong on Steam. If you didn't see the signs that this had the potential to be a mega hit, you were absolutely blind. I think any analyst would have been paying attention to Black Myth Wukong and saying, we need to keep an eye on this one. Even with that context, though, I don't think anybody could have expected what happened at launch. It was much bigger than anyone could have guessed. Early data says it already sold 10 million copies. It had 3 million concurrent players across all platforms. It dethroned games like Palworld, Counter-Strike, Dota, Cyberpunk 77, and others, putting it at the number 2 spot in terms of concurrence on Steam alone. It was profitable in the first day with 450 million in gross revenue over its first 3 days, according to Daniel Ahmad. It helped push Steam to the largest concurrent count ever of 37 million concurrent users, accounting for 5% of its overall traffic that day. It debuted as the #1 game on Twitch and still sits in the top of the directory. Physical editions, when made available on JD.com, sold out in seconds. That's right, seconds. In China on Weibo, 1.7 billion people viewed Black Myth Wukong content, with over $1 million in tips given to people streaming the game. The game even made the China national news. On launch day, 97% of the reviews were positive, and it's holding at 95.37% today. And the PlayStation 5 is selling out in China because of its astronomical success. It is now the fastest selling game of all time, beating out titles like Elden Ring and Hogwarts Legacy. It is massive. There are 2 important reasons this success is so astronomical. But real quick before we get that, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell if you like videos like this one. One important factor is the fact that Steam is now available in China without any sort of VPN access required. You can just download and play games. 93% of the 250,000 reviews are written in simplified Chinese on Steam. And make no mistake, regional pricing in China definitely contributed to its success. It costs only $38 in China versus $60 in the US, but paid games are accounting for a larger share in the market than ever before. I'm not telling you any of this to detract from the astronomical success that this game has seen. It just proves that the China market is hungry for awesome games, and the Western market is taking notice. So how will this impact the overall game industry going forward? It means the West and Japan need to pay attention to China and stop underestimating its development capabilities. They are here to play. They're not just about mobile gacha games. And if you're not careful, they're going to eat your lunch. And China has been releasing hit after hit. Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves, Naraka Blade Point, Honor of Kings. You shouldn't be ignoring this market, especially now that they're getting into the single player space. This also makes it clear that there are a ton of gamers in China who are hungry for cool new games. To put that in business terms, it signals a broader shift in market dynamics within China and represents an opportunity for non-China based developers to benefit from geographic expansion and existing AA and AAA offerings, according to Daniel Ahmad. The game paints a very clear picture that this game can go toe-to-toe with anything PlayStation Studios puts out or anyone in the AAA space. Daniel Ahmad also points out that this opens the door to new forms of collaboration and learning, and I beg the rest of the industry to please listen to the market, because the excuses hold less and less water with each of these successes, and the disparity between games people want, like these, and the games being made by the Western market, like these, should be abundantly clear. Good stories, good gameplay, cool characters. Notice I didn't say perfection. Most of the major studios feel so far away from the core tenets I just mentioned that it feels like you're just trying to squeeze another cent out of us because you can't get your $300 million budgets in line. So we pay the price? F that. And make no mistake, Baldur's Gate 3 and Black Myth Wukong aren't perfect. But the wider AAA industry has become so saturated with crap that we'll handle some frame rate dips in Act 3 if it means we're getting something great versus paying for something that feels like it's driven by a desire to make a profit and pander. And just to address the whole woke thing real quick, Twitter is not reality. Black Myth Wukong's success isn't because it is not woke. Baldur's Gate 3 is probably one of the most woke games you have ever played. It just does it in a way that's not pandering. I love Black Myth Wukong, and so far, it's one of my Game of the Year contenders, easily. If this is the type of game we can expect from China going forward, I say I look forward to buying the next one. China has made a clear statement with several of their releases as of late, and if the Western market doesn't get their shit together, it's only going to get worse than it's already been. Because most of the stuff that you've been putting out lately, I ain't buying. And neither are a lot of people. We have to get back to a place where there's a pure essence of what is being made and not a business essence toward what is being made. And the Western market is saturated with it right now. But why do you think Black Myth Wukong was so successful? What was it that had it just catapult to success at this rate? I'd love to hear about it in the comments, and if you like my videos, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when my content goes live. A big shout out to the members for making videos like this one possible. Thank you, and if you would like to become a member, you can click that join button to join today. And before you go, if you want to hear my tinfoil hat theory about where I think next generation hardware is going from Xbox, you can check out this video right here. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you for the next one.